top stories. Prime Minister Drew says government may consider compensation for reinstated registered nurses. New local government app coming soon to Trinidad and Tobago. And Brussels approves adapted Pfizer vaccine to combat Omicron subvariants. Hello and welcome to the ZIZ Midday Newscast. Today is Friday, the 1st of September 2023. I'm Jason Davis. Nationally, following the recent appointment of nurses assistants to registered nurses, the government of St. Kitts and Nevis may consider some form of gratuity payment as a means of compensation for the delay of their appointments for almost a decade. That's according to Prime Minister, the Honorable Dr. Terence Drew, during the roundtable on Thursday, a monthly conversation with media personnel. 2 days before the roundtable, a ceremony was held at the Joseph N. France General Hospital conference room to appoint local nurses who were trained in Cuba in 2013. According to Prime Minister Drew, Cuban-born nurses who are now working in the Federation were hired immediately as registered nurses because of their Cuban medical training, but local nurses who received the same training were not hired the same way.
Each of these nurse would have lost about $150,000 of wealth over the last decade. This is such an egregious act. And I hear thinking about it, I think the government should consider giving them some sort of compensation. The government is not obligated to, but I think something should be considered.
He said the nurses have lost out on more than $100,000 in income due to not being elevated to the appropriate position.
Because, let me say this, the difference between the pay of a registered nurse and an assistant nurse, let's say, is around $1,000. 1,000 times 12, it could be more than that. It's $12,000. 12,000 times 10, minimum $120,000. Plus loss of opportunity for advanced training, loss of opportunity for increment and increased salaries. I mean, there's a significant amount of money. So you're easily talking about $150,000. But apart from that, the professional embarrassment, the humiliation, to see somebody come from Cuba who studied at the same university, is their boss, and they got the same qualifications. The only difference is you're born in Cuba and I'm born in St. Kitts.
He said that this was a policy before their appointments but was not upheld. The Nursing Council has reviewed their qualifications and has determined that they are capable. In other news, on Thursday, members of the all-party parliamentary group toured the Joseph N. France General Hospital as part of an investment tour while the group is in the Federation. They were joined by St. Kitts and Nevis's High Commissioner in London, His Excellency Kevin Isaac. The APPG has been meeting with various local officials with the goal of reinforcing ties and exploring avenues for enhanced collaboration. The delegation includes David Kaczynski, chair of the APPG, Lisa Cameron, vice chair, and Scott Sherlock, parliamentary aide to Mr. Kaczynski. Part of the discussions include facilitating investments to the health sector, including working with the government on the construction of the new General Hospital. Minister of Sport, the Honourable Samuel Duggins, says he is focused on furthering the development of cricket within the Federation. Speaking after the recently concluded Caribbean Premier League games at Warner Park Cricket Stadium in St. Kitts, Minister Duggins spoke about his vision for cricket within the Federation during his appearance on the radio and television show In Focus on Wednesday.
Now, what we're doing with the sport of cricket, of course, it starts with making sure that we have adequate venues, because without the proper facilities, we believe that our people are limited. But beyond that, we are going into the schools, because we recognize for us to get what we need out of this society in terms of cricket's development, we have to go right down to the core and the young people.
He said it is part of his mandate to bring sport back into the schools because of its absence over the past few years. Minister Duggins also congratulated the Minister of Education for sharing his vision and collaborating on the joint venture of bringing sport back into the schools. He also stated that his ministry is currently collaborating with the local organization to ensure that more cricket matches are played in St. Kitts.
We've been working with a number of different cricket clubs in the UK in particular, so that we could have exchanges and different matches that our people could partake in, and also to have some of our people venture over to their clubs to be a part of Cricket in Action there as well.
Minister of Sport, the Honorable Samuel Duggins. Moving now to news on the regional scene. In Trinidad and Tobago, a new application is coming which will allow the population